Hey guys, so if you are a 2025 Jamb candidate, this particular video is for you. So you are writing biology in your Jamb, then let's look at the area of concentration. These are places that you should concentrate on while reading, okay? Now, the first thing you need to know is organization of life. Organization of life. And this is very, very important, okay? You need to know organisms that fall under different cadres of organization, different levels of organization. You need to know the organisms you can find in the cellular level. You need to know those you can find in the tissue level. You need to know those you can find in the organ level and system level, as the case may be. Okay, so this is very important. Now, the next topic you should focus on after organization of life is cell and its environment. Cell and its environment. Now, this is very broad. This is a very broad topic. It comprises of a lot of things. You have things like the osmosis, you have diffusion, you have things like the plasmolysis, hemolysis, and so on. Okay. Now, under this, please make sure you know the relevance of osmosis and also the relevance of diffusion is very important. So just note that. Okay. Now, another topic you should look at is systems. The systems. And the systems are very broad. We have a lot of them. So you're going to look at the system. So this is just a compression of the topics you should handle. So the systems, you have things like the transport system. We have the supportive system, supporting tissues both in plants and in animals. Okay. Then we have the digestive system, urinary system. We have the circulatory reproductive system, and so on. They are much, okay? We have a lot of them. So just focus on these systems. Know how to draw them. Okay, you don't really know how to draw them because you don't draw. Just know their parts and their functions, okay? Now, when we come to reproduction, you have to study both in plants and animals, okay? So that's very important. Plant and animal. So that's that. Just look at the system. Now, another thing we are going to look at is another topic you should focus on is homeostasis. Homeostasis. Homeostasis, very important. Okay, very important. So you study the structure of the liver and the kidney. Know their functions. Know their functions and know what are not their functions. Very important. Okay. Now, after homeostasis, you have to know um, coordination. Coordination. Now, you know that two things bring about coordination, right? We have the endocrine system. So you do endocrine system. You have to know the glands that make up the endocrine system, their positions and function. So that is very, very important. Then you now talk about the nervous system, where you study the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, and so on. Okay, so that is that. Now, another topic you should look at is genetics and variation. genetics and variation. You need to know the types of variation. So you know types of variation and so on, their characteristics. Okay. You also need to know some things about the gene, the chromosome, and so on. Now, the last thing you would look at is evolution. And this is very important. You have to know the evidence of evolution because it is often asked. Evidence of evolution. They can say which of these options is not an evidence of evolution. So we have different evidence of evolution. We have things like the fossil records. We have the vestigial structure, geographical distribution, and so on. Okay, so these are areas you should concentrate in if you're writing the 2025 JAM. Okay, so if you are just new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when I drop something like this. Now, I'm going to be dropping a lot of revision questions still in this channel. So just stay tuned and follow up. Thank you.